Get ready for the smackdown. Get ready for the smackdown. How you gonna react when you're put in your back now? 'Cause there's no turning back when you're facing the smackdown.
Alright guys, back again. And as you saw, this fight was put together by Ninja 4233. And he puts some deadly hunters in this battle. And I must say, I am impressed. I like it. And when I like it, I do it. So he pits Kraven the Hunter, Saragov Kravinoff, versus Predator. Yeah. Now, some people might say, oh, this is so easy. But let's face it. You got one of Spidey's most deadliest enemies going up against an ultimate hunter. This is good stuff. Let's kick it off. Kraven the Hunter. We all know Spidey's one of Spidey's most deadliest enemies. This guy has done pretty much everything you can think to do to our favorite web slinger. Man, the guy buried Spider-Man alive. Okay? And just when you think he killed himself, he's resurrected back to life. Pretty much now is immortal. He pretty much is on this kind of hunting killing spree now, with a point where he needs to hunt to like keep his sanity. He pretty much occupies himself now in the savage land. His family bloodline is still pretty strong. I mean, his daughter is just as dangerous as he is. Kraven has everything you can think of, from the agility, super strength. His sense of smell is just as keen as Daredevil or Wolverine's. He is the ultimate natural hunter. And when I mean that, he doesn't use all kinds of high-tech weaponry. More, his stuff is old-fashioned. Spears, knives, traps, things like that. When he sets you off as a prey, you better believe he's coming after you. And heaven help you if he catches you, because sometimes you're not getting away from this guy. This guy will track you down, and we've seen it over time and time again. He's done that in the comics. I've seen him go up against a lot of individuals besides Spidey. We've seen him recently. He's gone up against Black Panther. He's gone up against some of the X-Men from time to time. He's gone up against hell. He's also gone up against Venom. Flash Thompson Venom, and you're thinking, oh, Flash is with the symbiote will typically beat Kraven, but no, Kraven held his own against Venom. So he is an adversary not to underestimate, and with all the training he's had over his illustrious lifetime, he's dangerous. He very much is dangerous. So we move on, as always, to the next, his combatant in this, and he's probably one of the most famous movie aliens ever, and that's the Predator. What can we say about the Predator? I mean, before they started to transition this great alien hunter into comics, he was making himself wild on the silver screen. This is the guy that, let's face it, beat the shit out of Arnold. Okay, this is the same guy that took it to everybody that's been crossed his paths. He is the ultimate hunter, with all the technology you can think of, advanced technology, stealth, optic camouflage, lasers, all kinds of like grenades that he can even self-destruct himself. spears, shoulder shoulder like missile launchers, you name it. Of course, he has those intractable claws as well. But in hell, he's strong as hell. So, and let's face it, just fighting one is a headache. So, it's not, and you may not even survive that. So, it does take a lot to defeat just one of them. Okay, but he does have some weaknesses as well. But when they transitioned him over into the comics, they had Predators going up against a lot of classic, famous comic icons, like you see right there, Batman. And let's face it, he took it to Bruce. And it was not a very good sight to be a Batman fan when Predator was in town. He's gone up against Superman. You know, but as always, I've always said, they've never had a Predator go up against anybody from the Marvel Universe. And that's kind of sad, because I take it, there could have been there's a lot of Marvel heroes I would have loved to see a Predator go up against, including one of them from my very first fight, Wolverine. I've always said would have been a great fight. But Predator definitely is the ultimate hunter in this, with more of the high tech in terms of hunting, and but in terms of weaknesses, they fairly have none. But as we all seen in the movies and things like that, you can easily mess up his sight, because he uses body heat to see you, and we've seen people basically cover their body heat to fight them. Arnold did it. Adrian Brody pretty much did it, but also messed up, but kept the heat very high, so it was messing up. But a lot of things, but he pretty much doesn't really have a weakness, and that's more the scary part about it when in terms of a Predator. But in terms of a battle, you have old school hunter versus new age hunter in terms of old school gear and high tech gear. You got an alien versus a human. I can see the Predator taking Kraven very, very serious as a challenge. And I can see Kraven just probably be like the ultimate test for him in a way. And when I mean that, I mean the ultimate test. He would really revel in this to test his own hunting skills against an alien hunter that has hunted all over the galaxy and has trophies from all his quarry. So it's going to be a bloody battle nonetheless. But like I said, it plays up to the fact that now that Kraven is pretty much immortal, how can the Predator, stop an immortal? Kraven can easily take a blow and get back up from the Predator, because he's pretty much practically immortal, thanks to what happened in the Grim Hunt. But it'll definitely be a bloody battle nonetheless. And it's going to use all the wits of both individuals to outsmart one another. I would love to see this battle. My setting for this battle being the Savage Land. The Savage Land is a perfect spot for them two to go at. But that's just me. And as always, I like to see what you guys think of this. Who'd win this fight? Kraven or the Predator? And as always, give much love and respect to Ninja. This was his creating. He created it. As always, I'm just a guy that delivers. And other than that, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace. Stay tuned. Battle on.